What if I revealed to you that reality is perpetually attempting to communicate with you, yet you've been conditioned to overlook it every day? Subtle signals are placed along your journey, moments too precise to simply be coincidences. The tune that plays right as you think of someone, the number that seems to follow you consistently, the random encounter with a stranger who possesses the exact answer you were seeking. You have dismissed these as mere coincidences, yet deep inside, you've always sensed there is more to it, and indeed you are correct. Synchronicities aren't random occurrences. They serve as messages, patterns woven into the very fabric of reality, guiding you towards something profound. Ancient societies understood this. Mystics and philosophers delved into it, but contemporary society labels it as luck, chance, or randomness, for the system wishes to keep you unaware of the truth. These instances stand as evidence that the universe is not what you've been led to believe. In this video, we will unveil the secrets of what synchronicities truly represent, the reasons behind their occurrence, and how you can harness them to transform your life. From the moment of your birth, you were conditioned to accept a world governed by logic, structure, and predictability. Everything required a sensible explanation, and anything that fell outside that realm was dismissed as coincidence or fantasy. But what if that conditioning wasn't merely accidental? What if it was systematically devised to keep you oblivious to the profound forces at work? Recall your childhood, an era when you were innately connected to patterns, energy, and intuition. You recognized how certain events aligned perfectly, sensed when something was about to unfold, and had an instinctual awareness when someone was thinking of you. Yet when you shared these experiences, you were told it was merely your imagination. You were trained to disregard those feelings, to trust solely what could be quantified, verified, and categorized. The system instilled in you the notion that the world was entirely physical, a mechanism devoid of mystery, devoid of deeper wisdom. Series of seemingly random and unrelated occurrences, and gradually you began to disregard them. Education played a significant part in this suppression. Schools did not teach you how to tune into your intuition, recognize synchronicities, or comprehend energy. Instead, you were instructed to memorize facts, adhere to rules, and submit to authority. Creativity, imagination, and abstract reasoning were consistently marginalized in favor of logical thought and concrete data. If something couldn't be observed, measured, or quantified, it was deemed unreal, and questioning this paradigm was discouraged. The entire system is founded on the principle that one should rely solely on external authority, never on your own inner wisdom. Science emerged as the chief gatekeeper of truth, not the genuine kind that delves into the unknown, but a mainstream, rigid materialist version that insists everything is random, devoid of meaning, and can be explained by mere chance. Under this framework, synchronicities are dismissed as cognitive biases, with your brain merely playing tricks on you. If you notice the number 1111 on a clock repeatedly, it's labeled as confirmation bias. Meeting the ideal person precisely when you need to is just labeled as luck. This approach strips away any deeper significance and disconnects you from the guiding forces around you. However, what they don't disclose is that some of history's most brilliant minds, Carl Jung, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, recognize that reality is not as arbitrary as we've been led to believe. They grasp that synchronicities, patterns, and hidden connections are clues pointing to a more profound truth. Yet, society tends to scorn those who genuinely regard these experiences. Speak openly about synchronicities, and you risk being labeled superstitious, irrational, or even delusional. Those embracing these signs are often dismissed as spiritual eccentrics, while followers of a materialist worldview are heralded as logical, rational, and intelligent. This phenomenon isn't coincidental. It's a result of social conditioning. If you aim to control a populace, the preliminary step is ensuring they remain unaware of their inner potential. Own power. For the instant you start noticing synchronicities, you begin to uncover something significant. You are linked to a force that is far greater than yourself. Some truths are too intricate for YouTube, and I'm unable to convey everything here. That's the purpose of Insights Academy, where we delve into the complete narrative behind the hidden forces of reality. By signing up today, you'll receive a complimentary ebook copy of Kalyan, one of the most potent texts on universal laws. Head over to the link in the description and submit your email before it's too late. The main reason they're keen for you to overlook synchronicities is that they expose a flaw in the illusion. They demonstrate that reality is not merely a detached, cold mechanism. Rather, it's an interconnected web responding to your emotions, thoughts, and energy. Once you begin to notice these patterns, they become impossible to ignore, and that's where your genuine awakening takes place. The subsequent question arises, if synchronicities aren't random, then what exactly are they? Where do they originate from, and why do they appear more frequently as you grow aware of them? Let's dig deeper. At some point in your life, you've encountered a situation so perfectly timed that it seemed too extraordinary to be a coincidence. You think of someone you haven't connected with in years, and they suddenly reach out to you. You open a book at random, only to find words that answer a pressing question in your mind. You start seeing a recurring pattern of numbers, such as 111, 222, or 333, appearing anywhere you look as if reality itself is leaving hints for you to follow. These are not mere accidents, they are messages, and your awareness of them will lead to more occurrences. Now here's the vital insight. Synchronicities are not just random occurrences. They are intentional signs from a deeper intelligence, an invisible force that has been subtly guiding you throughout your life. The universe is not just a series of disconnected random events. It is a cohesive field of energy and consciousness. Every thought you entertain, every intention you set, every emotion that arises within you contributes to this expansive network. Transmit a frequency akin to a radio wave, and synchronicities represent the universe's response. They act as a connection between the visible and the invisible, the tangible and the intangible, the conscious mind and the subconscious. Carl Jung, a pivotal figure in contemporary psychology, introduced the notion of synchronicity after observing numerous instances where events coincided in illogical ways. He proposed that these significant coincidences were not mere chance but reflections of a deeper, hidden order within reality, a principle long recognized by ancient spiritual traditions. In Eastern philosophies, this concept is termed karma, while mystics refer to it as divine timing. Quantum physicists talk about it in terms of non-locality, expressing the idea that everything in existence is fundamentally intertwined beyond the constraints of space and time. Yet, mainstream science often shies away from this subject, deeming it mere illusion, despite considerable evidence to the contrary. Consider this: the entirety of the universe operates on patterns and interconnected frameworks. Nature adheres to fractal geometry. Planetary movements align in mathematically precise ratios, and your DNA is inscribed with recurring sequences. Everything that exists functions through patterns, cycles, and relationships. So why would human experiences differ? Why wouldn't your thoughts, feelings, and choices follow a structured foundation? The answer is that they certainly do, and synchronicities serve as evidence of that concealed design. They are the anomalies within the matrix, moments when the universe's underlying structure unveils itself. Once you start noticing these occurrences, you begin to comprehend that reality is significantly more versatile than you were led to believe. However, if synchronicities are indeed messages, the inquiry becomes who or what is sending them. Some suggest that these coincidences arise from a higher aspect of yourself steering you toward the correct path, while others view them as signals from the collective unconscious, the broad pool of human thought and experience described by Jung. There are even those who interpret synchronicities as hints from an external intelligence, whether you refer to it as the universe, God, source energy, or a simulation striving to interact with its participants. Regardless of their source, one thing is clear: synchronicities hold significant meaning. They serve as prompts to awaken, to be aware, and to transition your mindset from autopilot to conscious creation. Once you begin to identify these occurrences, the facade of randomness starts to disintegrate. This leads to the next inquiry. If synchronicities are not coincidental, what exactly is their mechanism? What occurs beneath the surface to produce these perfect alignments? Furthermore, how can you leverage them to transform your existence? The key lies in grasping the concealed workings of reality itself. Let's delve deeper. If synchronicities represent messages from a higher intelligence, how do they truly function? What underlies these flawless connections appearing in your life? The reality is that a hidden mechanism clarifies why certain events seem to interconnect in ways that defy conventional understanding. Once you comprehend this mechanism, you'll see that you possess more control over reality than you may have thought. At the heart of synchronicities is a straightforward yet potent principle. Your mind is not merely a passive observer of reality, it actively contributes to shaping it. Contemporary neuroscience supports this notion, indicating that your brain filters reality based on your focus, which is known as the reticular activating system, RAS. This network within your brainstem determines what information reaches your conscious awareness. Have you ever realized that after purchasing a new vehicle, you suddenly notice that model everywhere? Those cars were always present, but your mind simply wasn't tuned into them until now. A similar phenomenon occurs with synchronicities. The instant you start recognizing, believing in, and anticipating them, your brain adjusts its focus, making them appear with increased frequency. However, this phenomenon goes even deeper than that. Neuroscience and quantum physics have long indicated that consciousness is essential in molding reality. The renowned double-slit experiment demonstrated that simply observing affects the behavior of particles at the subatomic level. This suggests that reality isn't a static, separate entity. Rather, it responds to your thoughts, emotions, and focus, which literally interact with the universe's fabric. Now, when you incorporate the law of vibration, one of metaphysics' key principles, it's understood that everything in the universe is energy oscillating at varying frequencies. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs also emit specific vibrations, and these frequencies determine what you attract into your life. If you're consistently fixated on fear, scarcity, or limitation, your energy resonates with those experiences, causing you to identify patterns that reinforce them. Conversely, when you adjust your frequency to emphasize alignment, purpose, and synchronicities, reality begins to reflect that back to you. This explains why individuals who become aware of synchronicities suddenly find themselves experiencing more of them. It isn't merely that they are noticing these occurrences, but rather that their energy shifts and reality reacts in response. By focusing on signs, patterns, and messages, you tune your consciousness to the underlying order of the universe, akin to fine-tuning a radio to the correct frequency. The intriguing part is how your subconscious plays a significant role in creating synchronicities. While your conscious mind engages with daily tasks, your subconscious continuously forges deeper links, connecting information and recognizing patterns. When you set an intention, whether consciously or unconsciously, your subconscious begins to orchestrate events that move you toward that particular outcome. This is why those who have a strong belief in synchronicities tend to experience them more often. Their subconscious actively contributes to the alignment of reality. Skeptics might contend that all of this is just a matter of selective focus. Synchronicities are merely random occurrences that your mind chooses to acknowledge. Yet, if that were true, why do these instances frequently hold profound personal resonance? Why do they so often coincide with your thoughts, feelings, and inner experiences at precisely the right times? And why do they possess an uncanny ability to direct individuals toward life-altering choices? Because synchronicities aren't mere coincidences. They represent a kind of communication among your conscious mind, subconscious, and the greater intelligence that shapes our reality. The crucial aspect is understanding how to collaborate with these experiences rather than resist them. Once you begin consciously aligning with synchronicities, they not only manifest more frequently, but also serve as instruments for transformation. This leads to an even larger question. Why do some individuals encounter synchronicities regularly, while others hardly notice them? What distinguishes those who live in perfect harmony with these occurrences from those who remain isolated? The answer might be unexpected. Let's delve deeper. If synchronicities are constantly unfolding, why do certain people perceive them all the time, while others hardly catch on? Why do some individuals seem to cruise through life's hidden patterns with ease, while others feel adrift in chaos? The answer is straightforward: awareness, alignment, and belief. Many individuals spend their lives in a state of disconnection, trapped in a mindset dominated by logic, skepticism, and strict materialism. They are conditioned to view life as purely mechanistic, believing events occur due to cause and effect, that luck is arbitrary, and that the universe is uncaring. This belief system creates a mental barrier that obstructs the presence of synchronicities in their lives. Even when meaningful coincidences occur, they dismiss them as inconsequential, failing to recognize the deeper patterns at work. Picture this: you're in a pitch-black room saturated with radio waves, hundreds of stations broadcasting simultaneously, but without a radio. Tuned into the appropriate frequency, you won't perceive anything around you. This also holds true for synchronicities. If your mindset isn't attuned to the frequency of alignment, you will miss the signals that reality continuously sends. In contrast, there are those who live in harmony with synchronicities. These individuals aren't extraordinary. They have merely conditioned their minds to be open to the signs in their environment. They don't dismiss unusual alignments as mere coincidence. Instead, they focus, trust their instincts, and follow the patterns. Interestingly enough, the more you recognize synchronicities, the more frequently they occur. This phenomenon arises from two primary elements: the subconscious mind and the law of vibration. Your subconscious mind is perpetually absorbing information beyond your conscious awareness, tuning into subtle patterns, hidden connections, and invisible possibilities. By concentrating on synchronicities, you are essentially training your subconscious to look for more of them, resembling the way a search engine operates. When you indicate to your mind that synchronicities are essential, it starts filtering your reality in a manner that highlights them more often. This forms a subconscious link. This is why some seem to experience remarkable luck. They are unconsciously steering their reality, aligning with opportunities, and recognizing signals that others tend to overlook. Their subconscious is programmed for synchronicity. Now, let's examine the law of vibration. Everything throughout the universe operates at a certain frequency, including your thoughts and feelings. When you find yourself in a low vibrational state filled with fear, doubt, or negativity, your energy contracts and your awareness diminishes. This makes it difficult to perceive synchronicities because your focus is narrowed to surviving, fixated on immediate issues rather than the broader perspective. Conversely, as you elevate your vibration through gratitude, mindfulness, curiosity, and intention, you become more aligned with the universe's flow, causing your energy to expand. And as you start to draw in synchronicities, it's because your consciousness is now tuned into a frequency that allows these events to manifest. This is the reason why individuals who meditate, practice mindfulness, or engage in profound self-reflection often report a significant uptick in synchronicities. They have cleared away the mental distractions and aligned their awareness with the subtle order of the universe. Yet there's another vital aspect: trust. Those who frequently encounter synchronicities are typically individuals who place their faith in the process. They don't question the authenticity of a sign. They follow it and act upon the cues, which in turn solidifies the ongoing pattern. When you recognize, trust, and act on synchronicities, they multiply exponentially, but here's where many falter. They may notice synchronicities, but often refrain from taking initiative. They observe the signs, yet hesitate, second-guess, or ignore them entirely. This weakens the connection, causing synchronicities to diminish, as these occurrences are not merely messages, they represent pathways for alignment. The universe is presenting you with an opportunity. It's up to you to take that step forward. So, the pressing question becomes, how can you enhance this connection? How do you identify, interpret, and act upon synchronicities in a manner that allows them to guide your journey? The solution lies in mastering the art of decoding these signs, and that's precisely what we're about to delve into. Let's explore further. Synchronicities are occurring around you constantly. The issue arises because many do not know how to recognize them, or even worse, they shrug them off as mere chance. However, once you grasp how to identify these patterns and interpret their significance, you will begin to realize that reality has been communicating with you all along. The initial step toward harnessing synchronicities is cultivating awareness. You must shift your perspective from viewing life as random to recognizing that everything is interconnected. The universe conveys messages through symbols, patterns, and timing. These signs commonly manifest in three distinct forms: numbers and recurring patterns. Have faith in the process and embrace the journey. When you recognize the signs, trust that they are guiding you toward your true purpose. Pay attention to the feelings and intuition that accompany these moments, as they will steer you in the right direction. Remember that every synchronicity is an opportunity, a chance to align with the universal flow. Embrace them, act upon them, and take ownership of the changes they bring into your life. It's essential to be proactive, to follow through on the nudges you receive, and to remain open to new possibilities. In doing so, you'll cultivate a life rich with meaningful connections and experiences, where synchronicities are not just occurrences, but powerful tools facilitating your growth and evolution. Keep the momentum going. The more you engage with these signs, the more they will manifest, leading you to an existence filled with purpose and fulfillment. Start recognizing the signs that emerge around you. Align your energy with these synchronicities as they mirror your vibrational state. If you're enveloped in resistance, doubt, fear, or excessive analysis, you obstruct the natural flow. Conversely, when you cultivate a mindset of trust, excitement, and receptiveness, you'll see an increase in the signs appearing. This phenomenon often spikes during transformational periods, where you find yourself embarking on an unfamiliar yet aligned journey. Elevating your frequency is one of the quickest ways to amplify synchronicities. Engaging in practices such as meditation, gratitude, visualization, and profound self-reflection places you in a state of openness, allowing synchronicities to flourish. If you've ever gone through a time when everything fell into place seemingly effortlessly, it was not a coincidence but a result of alignment. Now, taking aligned action is where many falter. They may recognize the signs but hold back, second-guessing or waiting for further validation. Remember, synchronicities are not mere observations, they're signals for action. If certain numbers, phrases, or symbols keep recurring, there's no randomness at play, they're gentle nudges. If you feel drawn toward a new path, person, or opportunity, that's the universe opening a door for you, and it's essential to step through it. The crucial factor is that synchronicities amplify when you act on them. As soon as you begin to trust this guidance and respond, your reality starts to shift in a positive direction. The more attentive you are, the more pronounced the signals become. The universe favors those who take initiative. Individuals who harmonize their lives with synchronicities do not disregard the signs, they act on them, leading to a state where opportunities, connections, and serendipitous moments become commonplace. They aren't passively waiting for life to unfold. Rather, they actively participate in its creation. You're now equipped with a deeper understanding of what synchronicities are, how they function, and how to leverage them. The question remains, what will you choose to do with this understanding? The essential next step is to begin to elevate your awareness and attune to the signs surrounding you. Your energy dictates your synchronicities. When you're caught in resistance, skepticism, fear, or excessive analysis, you impede the natural flow of these occurrences. However, as you transition into a mindset of trust, enthusiasm, and openness, the signs will start to intensify. This phenomenon is why synchronicities often surge during significant transformations, when you're venturing into an unknown yet aligned direction. Raising your frequency is one of the quickest ways to amplify these occurrences. Engaging in practices such as meditation, gratitude, visualization, and profound self-reflection cultivates an openness that allows synchronicities to emerge more organically. If you've ever gone through a phase where everything seemed to align perfectly, it wasn't coincidence, it was alignment. When it comes to taking aligned action, this is where many stumble. They recognize the signs but falter. They doubt, and they delay seeking additional validation. Yet synchronicities are not merely signals to acknowledge. They serve as prompts for taking action. If you find yourself repeatedly encountering the same number, phrase, or symbol, it's no coincidence. It's an invitation. If a certain path, individual, or opportunity is calling to you, that's the universe signaling an opening. The essential part is to step through that opening. Moreover, synchronicities tend to multiply when you heed them. The instant you begin to trust the guidance and act upon it, your reality starts to shift in alignment with your desires. The more receptive you are, the more pronounced the signs become. The universe favors movement. Those who navigate their lives in harmony with synchronicities do not overlook the signals. They take decisive action, leading them to dwell in a realm where opportunities, connections, and moments of exquisite timing become commonplace. They are not simply waiting for life's events to unfold, they are actively co-creating their experiences. Now, with this understanding of what synchronicities represent, how they function, and how to harness them, what actions will you take with this insight? The final step is to integrate it into your daily routine to fully embrace the journey of awareness, connection, and alignment. And this is precisely what we will delve into next. Let's explore further. With the newfound understanding of synchronicities, the pressing inquiry becomes, How will you utilize this insight? Typically, after uncovering everything we've discussed, many individuals revert to their previous habits. They might recognize a synchronicity, experience a spark of amazement, yet dismiss it as mere coincidence. They might receive a sign guiding them toward new possibilities, but hesitate, overanalyze, and allow fear to prevent them from making a move. They remain stuck in a cycle of uncertainty, waiting for further validation, longing for something greater, seeking guaranteed outcomes. However, here's the reality. Certainty doesn't precede action. The system has conditioned you to overlook these signs, rationalize them away, and remain disconnected from the deeper wisdom that guides your existence. But now, you perceive it. You realize that reality is not random. It's structured, intelligent, and responsive. More importantly, you are integral to that structure. Your thoughts, emotions, and decisions craft the path that unfolds before you. You aren't just drifting through reality, you are co-creating it. What does that signify? It means that synchronicities aren't merely coincidences that happen to you, they occur for your benefit. Each alignment, every instance of perfect timing, every recurring number, symbol, or message serves as an invitation to embrace a new perspective, to trust, to expand, to align, and crucially, to take action. If there's one takeaway from this, let it be: do not disregard the signs. The universe communicates in subtle whispers initially. If you fail to heed them, the messages intensify. Ignore them long enough and synchronicities will cease, leading you back into unconscious patterns without direction. Yet, if you listen, if you begin to regard synchronicities as authentic, and if you follow their guidance, your entire life can transform. Those who encounter the greatest number of synchronicities are not merely fortunate. They are attentive, they act based on their intuition, they trust the process, and as a result, their lives flow in ways that seem effortless, as if there's a force working behind the scenes to align everything favorably. Because indeed, there is. But remember, there is so much more to explore than what can be shared here. That's the reason Insights Academy exists, to provide a deeper understanding of what we're not typically meant to know. If you enroll now, you'll also receive the Keelian ebook for free. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Check the link in the description. Now that you've discerned the patterns and felt the alignments, it's time to cease second-guessing and begin trusting. Be vigilant, follow the signs, act upon them, for once you enter a state of alignment, you will discover that synchronicities are not rare. They are abundant, waiting for you to awaken and finally recognize them. If this video resonated with you, please let us know by commenting, "I understood it."